Hey, what's up everybody? It's DigiMish here. How you doing? How you doing? On this video, I'm going to give you just a little bit of insight on why you miss so many wide open shots. So I'm going to go ahead and load up practice mode. I'm going to pick the 76ers to start out with, and I'm going to switch it to Nick Young. Nick Young has a 92 medium. I think I'm going to show you the stats right here. 92 medium set shot, 83 close, 84 three-point shooter. You know, just overall, he's a really good shooter. So I'm going to start this out here. I miss a couple of the first shots, wide open A rating shots. And this happens a lot in a game where you just throw up a lot of shots and you just miss, and you have no idea why you miss. And this is the reason why. These are the hot zones, and you can see these by pressing the back button or select in the practice mode. As you can see, even though Nick Young has great stats, great shooting stats, he has no good hot zones. So basically what the hot zones do is they either give you a little boost to shooting, or what they do is negate some of your missed time shots. So as you can see right here, even though I'm shooting technically well, I'm missing a lot of shots. So, but if you go into, I take two shots here with Maurice Sprites, who has really good shooting. I make one, miss one, but the overall message is that if you go into the hot zones multiple times, you're more likely to make them on a more consistent basis. This is the difference between a lot of the players. I'm going to switch it here to LeBron James really quick. As you can see, I'm going to shoot a three-point shot in his hot zone, and he makes it no problem. We all know that LeBron James isn't the greatest of three-point shooters. So if you do want to make some, you can see that his hot zone's right there. Also, right next to that hot zone is a cold zone, so you'll almost never make a shot from there, no matter what his ratings are. Now, right here, I'm just going to walk around and show you that there's no visual indication of these hot zones while you're playing. So this is why most people get so confused as to why they're missing so many wide open shots, even though they have good ratings and good grades when they're shooting them. The game doesn't really do a good job of telling you that you're in a hot zone at all. So I'm going to go ahead and switch again to Kevin Durant. Now remember, this is the most surprising and telling thing about hot zones. This is Kevin Durant. Of course, he is the two-time scoring champion. He should have hot zones all over the place. And look at that. He has 3 hot zones. That's it. One underneath the basket, one at the three-point line, one at mid-range. Kevin Durant's probably one of the better mid-range shooters in the league. Because of his height, he can always get his own shot off. He makes a ton of shots. His jump shot is what makes him really deadly. And it's really surprising that he only has 2 outside the paint hot zones for a guy who shoots all the time and scores in bunches. So I'm going to take a couple shots here with Kevin Durant just to show you some of the difference. Also, it's easier to get an A+ rating while you're in a hot zone. In fact, I've never gotten an A+ rating when I wasn't in a hot zone, but that might be user error. So here's Carmelo Anthony, another guy who can score in bunches, as you can see. Now here is the most telling fact of all of this. I'm going to switch it to everyone's favorite player, Steve Novak. Steve Novak has all of these great hot zones all over the court. It basically means that he can't really miss from anywhere, even though he's just a set three-point shooter in real life. It's a weird thing that they gave him this. This is mostly the reason why Steve Novak can do stuff like this in a game. Coming off a pick, shooting a shot, terrible B- rating shot, mistime the actual release, splashes it. This is me again. And this is just in a regular superstar. I always leave mine on superstar default. I do a little hop step with Steve Novak, cash it. The hot zones either negating slightly the range of the shot, how I'm not releasing it correctly, and the defense that's in front of me because I'm in a hot zone. And that's probably the problem here. Now, as I go back to the practice here, you can see right now I'm intentionally trying to mistime these shots. And as you can see, I'm butter everywhere. So this is just a little insight, just a small insight to why you miss so many wide open shots. It's mostly because you're not in a hot zone. So if you're missing a bunch of shots that you think you should make, then go into practice, take a look at the hot zones. This may lead to some insight about why you miss so many jump shots. But a lot of the superstars like Kevin Durant or Carmelo Anthony, they don't seem to have hot zones, so they're not being boosted by being in a hot zone. Now, What I don't know of yet, and I will admit this, we don't know how things like Deadeye come into play, how things like Dimer come into play, how things like corner specialists or anything like that. I don't know if those things apply when you're in practice. I don't know if it just uses the actual stats themselves. But at the very least, you can see here, and you can see that Novak has 9 or 10 hot zones, whereas someone like Carmelo or Kevin Durant has 1 or 2. There has to be a reason behind that, and I think we should look at that to really figure out why certain players miss so many shots.